The Complete Works of William Shakespeare by William Shakespeare. Act 1. Scene I, Rome. Before the Capitol Flourish. The tragedy of Titus Andronicus Dramatis Personae Saturninus, son to the late Emperor of Rome, afterwards Emperor Bassianus, brother to Saturninus Titus Andronicus, a noble Roman Marcus Andronicus, tribune of the people, and brother to Titus, sons to Titus Andronicus, Lucius Quintus Marcius Mutius young Lucius, a boy, son to Lucius Publius, son to Marcus Andronicus kinsman to Titus, Sempronius Caius Valentini Milius, a noble Roman, sons to Timora, Alarbus Demetrius Chiron Aaron, a Moor, beloved by Timora, a captain, a messenger, a clown, Timora, queen of the Goths, Lavinia, daughter to Titus Andronicus, a nurse, and a black child, Romans and Goths, senators, tribunes, officers, soldiers, and attendants. Scene, Rome and the neighborhood. Act 1. Scene I. Rome. Before the Capitol Flourish. Enter the tribunes and senators aloft, and then enter below Saturninus and his followers at one door, and Bassianus and his followers at the other, with drums and trumpets. Saturninus. Noble patricians, patrons of my right, defend the justice of my cause with arms, and countrymen, my loving followers, plead my successive title with your swords. I am his firstborn son, that was the last that wear the imperial diadem of Rome. Then let my father's honors live in me, nor wrong mine age with this indignity. Bassianus. Romans, friends, followers, favorers of my right, if ever Bassianus, Caesar's son, were gracious in the eyes of royal Rome, keep then this passage to the Capitol, and suffer not dishonor to approach the imperial seat, to virtue consecrate, to justice, continence, and nobility, but let desert and pure election shine, and Romans, fight for freedom in your choice. Enter Marcus Andronicus aloft, with the crown. Marcus. Princes that strive by factions and by friends ambitiously for rule and empery, know that the people of Rome, for whom we stand a special party, have by common voice in election for the Roman empery chosen Andronicus, surnamed Pius, for many good and great deserts to Rome. A nobler man, a braver warrior, lives not this day within the city walls. He by the Senate is excited home, from weary wars against the barbarous Goths, that with his sons, a terror to our foes, hath yacked a nation strong, trained up in arms. 10 years are spent since first he undertook this cause of Rome, and chastised with arms our enemies' pride. 5 times he hath returned bleeding to Rome, bearing his valiant sons in coffins from the field, and at this day to the monument of that Andronicide done sacrifice of expiation, and slain the noblest prisoner of the Goths. And now at last, laden with honor's spoils, returns the good Andronicus to Rome, renowned Titus, flourishing in arms. Let us entreat, by honor of his name, whom worthily you would have now succeed, and in the Capitol and Senate's right, whom you pretend to honor and adore, that you withdraw you and abate your strength, dismiss your followers, and, as suitors should, plead your deserts in peace and humbleness. Saturninus. How fair the tribune speaks to calm my thoughts. Bassianus. Marcus Andronicus, so I do affian thy uprightness and integrity, and so I love and honor thee and thine, thy noble brother Titus and his sons, and her to whom my thoughts are humbled all, gracious Lavinia, Rome's rich ornament, that I will here dismiss my loving friends, and to my fortunes and the people's favor commit my cause and balance to be weighed. Exeunt the soldiers of Bassianus. Saturninus. Friends that have been thus forward in my right, I thank you all and here dismiss you all, and to the love and favor of my country commit myself, my person, and the cause. Exeunt the soldiers of Saturninus. Rome, be as just and gracious unto me as I am confident and kind to thee. Open the gates and let me in. Bassianus. Tribunes and me, a poor competitor. Flourish. They go up into the Senate house, enter a captain. Romans, make way. The good Andronicus, patron of virtue, Rome's best champion, successful in the battles that he fights, with honor and with fortune is returned from where he circumscribed with his sword and brought to yoke the enemies of Rome. Sound drums and trumpets, and then enter Marcius and Nutius, 2 of Titus' sons, and then 2 men bearing a coffin covered with black, then Lucius and Quintus, 2 other sons, then Titus Andronicus, and then Timora the queen of Goths, with her 3 sons, Alarbus, Demetrius, and Chiron, with Aaron the Moor, and others, as many as can be. Then set down the coffin, and Titus speaks. Titus. Hail, Rome, victorious in thy mourning weeds! Lo, as the bark that hath discharged her fraught returns with precious lading to the bay from whence at first she weighed her anchorage, cometh Andronicus, bound with laurel boughs, to resalute his country with his tears, tears of true joy for his return to Rome. Thou great defender of this capital, stand gracious to the rights that we intend. Romans, of 25 valiant sons, half of the number that King Priam had, behold the poor remains, alive and dead. These that survive let Rome reward with love, these that I'd bring unto their latest home, with burial amongst their ancestors. Here Goths have given me leave to sheathe my sword. Titus, unkind, and careless of thine own, why sufferest thou thy sons, unburied yet, to hover on the dreadful shore of Styx? Make way to lay them by their brethren. They open the tomb, their greet in silence, as the dead are wont, and sleep in peace, slain in your country's wars. O sacred receptacle of my joys, sweet cell of virtue and nobility, how many sons hast thou of mine in store that thou wilt never render to me more? Lucius, give us the proudest prisoner of the Goths, that we may hew his limbs, and on a pile at Manes Fratrum sacrifice his flesh before this earthly prison of their bones, that so the shadows be not unappeased, nor we disturbed with prodigies on earth. Titus, I give him you the noblest that survives, the eldest son of this distressed queen. Timora. Stay, Roman Breathin. Gracious conqueror, victorious Titus, rue the tears I shed, a mother's tears in passion for her son, and if thy sons were ever dear to thee, oh, think my son to be as dear to me. Sufficeth not that we are brought to Rome to beautify thy triumphs, and return captive to thee and to thy Roman yoke, but must my sons be slaughtered in the streets for valiant doings in their country's cause? Oh, if to fight for king and commonweal were piety in thine, it is in these. Andronicus, stain not thy tomb with blood. Wilt thou draw near the nature of the gods? Draw near them then in being merciful. Sweet mercy is nobility's true badge. Thrice noble Titus, spare my firstborn son. Titus, patient yourself, madam, and pardon me. These are their brethren, whom your Goths beheld alive and dead, and for their brethren slain religiously they ask a sacrifice. To this your son is marked, and die he must he appease their groaning shadows that are gone. Lucius, away with him, and make a fire straight, and with our swords, upon a pile of wood, let's hew his limbs till they be clean consumed. Excellent Titus' sons, with Alarbus Timora. O cruel, irreligious piety! Chiron, was never Scythia half so barbarous? Demetrius, oppose not Scythia to ambitious Rome. Alarbus goes to rest, and we survive to tremble under Titus' threatening look. Then, madam, stand resolved, but hope with all the self-same gods that armed the Queen of Troy with opportunity of sharp revenge upon the Thracian tyrant in his tent may favor Timora, the Queen of Goths when Goths were Goths and Timora was queen to quit the bloody wrongs upon her foes. Re-enter Lucius, Quintus, Marcius, and Nutius, the sons of Andronicus, with their swords. Bloody Lucius. See, lord and father, how we have performed our Roman rites. Alarbus' limbs are lopped, and entrails feed the sacrificing fire, whose smoke like incense doth perfume the sky. Remaineth not but to inter our brethren, and with loud larums welcome them to Rome. Titus, let it be so, and let Andronicus make this his latest farewell to their souls. Sound trumpets and lay the coffin in the tomb. In peace and honor rest you here, my sons, Rome's readiest champions. Repose you here in rest, secure from worldly chances and mishaps. Here lurks no treason, here no envy swells, here grow no damned drugs, here are no storms, no noise, but silence and eternal sleep. In peace and honor rest you here, my sons. Enter Lavinia. Lavinia. In peace and honor live Lord Titus long, my noble lord and father, live in fame. Lo, at this tomb my tributary tears I render for my brethren's obsequies, and at thy feet I kneel, with tears of joy shed on this earth for thy return to Rome. Oh, bless me here with thy victorious hand, whose fortunes Rome's best citizens applaud. Titus. Kind Rome, that hast thus lovingly reserved the cordial of mine age to glad my heart. Lavinia, live, outlive thy father's days, and fame's eternal date, for virtue's praise. Enter, above, Marcus Andronicus and tribunes, re-enter Saturninus, Bassianus, and attendants Marcus. Long live Lord Titus, my beloved brother, gracious triumpher in the eyes of Rome. Titus. Thanks, gentle tribune, noble brother Marcus. Marcus. And welcome, nephews, from successful wars, you that survive and you that sleep in fame. Fair lords, your fortunes are alike in all that in your country's service drew your swords. But safer triumph is this funeral pomp that hath aspurred to Solon's happiness, and triumphs overchance in honor's bed. Titus Andronicus, the people of Rome, whose friend in justice thou hast ever been, send thee by me, their tribune and their trust, this armament of white and spotless hue, and name thee in election for the empire with these our late deceased emperor's sons. Be candidatus then, and put it on, and help to set a head on headless Rome. Titus. A better head her glorious body fits than his that shakes for age and feebleness. What should I don this robe and trouble you? You. Be chosen with proclamations today, tomorrow yield up rule, resign my life, and set abroad new business for you all? Rome, I have been thy soldier 40 years, and led my country's strength successfully, and buried 21 valiant sons, knighted in field, slain manfully in arms, in right and service of their noble country. Give me a staff of honor for mine age, but not a scepter to control the world. Upright he held it, lords, that held it last. Marcus. Titus, thou shalt obtain and ask the empery. Saturninus. Proud and ambitious tribune, canst thou tell? Titus. Patience, Prince Saturninus. Saturninus. Romans, do me right. Patricians, draw your swords, and sheathe them not till Saturninus be Rome's emperor. Andronicus, would thou were shipped to hell rather than rob me of the people's hearts. Lucius. Proud Saturnine, interrupter of the good that noble-minded Titus means to thee. Titus. Content thee, Prince, I will restore to thee the people's hearts, and wean them from themselves. Bassianus. Andronicus, I do not flatter thee, but honor thee, and will do till I die. My faction if thou strengthen with thy friends, I will most thankful be, and thanks to men of noble minds is honorable meed. Titus. People of Rome, and people's tribunes here, I ask your voices and your suffrages, will ye bestow them friendly on Andronicus? Tribunes. To gratify the good Andronicus, and gratulate his safe return to Rome, the people will accept whom he admits. Titus. Tribunes, I thank you, and this suit I make, that you create our emperor's eldest son, Lord Saturnine, whose virtues will, I hope, reflect on Rome as Titans raise on earth, and ripen justice in this commonweal. Then, if you will elect by my advice, crown him, and say long live our emperor. Marcus. With voices and applause of every sort, patricians and plebeians, we create Lord Saturninus Rome's great emperor, and say long live our emperor Saturnine. A long flourish till they come down, Saturninus. Titus Andronicus, for thy favors done to us in our election this day I give thee thanks in part of thy deserts, and will with deeds requite thy gentleness, and for an onset, Titus, to advance thy name and honorable family, Lavinia will I make my empress, Rome's royal mistress, mistress of my heart, and in the sacred pantheon her espouse. Tell me, Andronicus, doth this motion please thee? Titus. It doth, my worthy lord, and in this match I hold me highly honored of your grace, and here in sight of Rome, to Saturnine, king and commander of our commonweal, the wide world's emperor, do I consecrate my sword, my chariot, and my prisoners, presents well worthy Rome's imperious lord. Receive them then, the tribute that I owe, mine honor's ensigns humbled at thy feet. Saturninus. Thanks, noble Titus, father of my life. How proud I am of thee and of thy gifts Rome shall record, and when I do forget the least of these unspeakable deserts, Romans, forget your fealty to me. Titus. To Timora now, madam, are you prisoner to an emperor, to him that for your honor and your state will use you nobly and your followers. Saturninus. Aside, a goodly lady, trust me, of the hue that I would choose, were I to choose anew, clear up, fair queen, that cloudy countenance. Though chance of war hath wrought this change of cheer, thou com'st not to be made a scorn in Rome. Princely shall be thy usage every way. Rest on my word, and let not discontent daunt all your hopes. Madam, he comforts you can make you greater than the Queen of Goths. Lavinia, you are not displeased with this? Lavinia. Not I, my lord, sith true nobility warrants these words and princely courtesy. Saturninus. Thanks, sweet Lavinia. Romans, let us go. Ransomless here we set our prisoners free. Proclaim our honors, lords, with trump and drum. Flourish, Bassianus. Lord Titus, by your leave, this maid is mine. Seizing Lavinia. Titus. How, sir? Are you in earnest then, my lord? Bassianus. Aye, noble Titus, and resolved withal to do myself this reason and this right. Marcus. Some queek is our Roman justice, this prince injustice seizeth but his own. Lucius. And that he will and shall, if Lucius live. Titus. Traitors, avaunt! Where is the emperor's guard? Treason, my lord. Lavinia is Sir Priest. Saturninus. Sir Priest. By whom? Bassianus. By him that justly may bear his betrothed from all the world away. Exeunt Bassianus and Marcus with Lavinia Mutius. Brothers, help to convey her hence away, and with my sword I'll keep this door safe. Exeunt Lucius, Quintus, and Marcius. Titus. Follow, my lord, and I'll soon bring her back. Mutius. My lord, you pass not here. Titus. What, villain boy? Barst me my way in Rome? Mutius. Help, Lucius, help. Titus kills him. During the fray, exeunt Saturninus, Timora, Demetrius, Chiron, and Aaron re-enter Lucius. Lucius. My lord, you are unjust, and more than so, in wrongful quarrel you have slain your son. Titus. Nor thou nor he are any sons of mine. My sons would never so dishonor me. Re-enter aloft the emperor with Timora and her 2 sons, and Aaron the more traitor, restore Lavinia to the emperor. Lucius. Dead if you will, but not to be his wife, that is another's lawful promised love. Exit Saturninus. No, Titus, no, the emperor needs her not, nor her, nor thee, nor any of thy stock. I'll trust by leisure him that mocks me once, thee never, nor thy traitorous haughty sons, confederates all thus to dishonor me. Was there none else in Rome to make a stale but Saturnine? Full well, Andronicus, agree these deeds with that proud brag of thine that saidst I begged the empire at thy hands. Titus. O monstrous! What reproachful words are these? Saturninus. But go thy ways, go, give that changing piece to him that flourish for her with his sword. A valiant son-in-law thou shalt enjoy, one fit to bandy with thy lawless sons, to ruffle in the commonwealth of Rome. Titus. These words are razors to my wounded heart. Saturninus. And therefore, lovely Timora, Queen of Goths, that, like the stately Phoebe mongst her nymphs, dost overshine the gallant dames of Rome, if thou be pleased with this my sudden choice, behold, I choose thee, Timora, for my bride and will create thee Empress of Rome. Speak, Queen of Goths, dost thou applaud my choice? And here I swear by all the Roman gods sith priest and holy water are so near, and tapers burn so bright, and everything in readiness for Hymenaeus stand, I will not resalute the streets of Rome, or climb my palace, till from forth this place I lead Espis my bride along with me. Timora. And here in sight of heaven to Rome I swear, if Saturnine advance the queen of Goths, she will a handmaid be to his desires, a loving nurse, a mother to his youth. Saturninus. Ascend, fair queen, Pantheon. Lords, accompany your noble emperor and his lovely bride, sent by the heavens for Prince Saturnine, whose wisdom hath her fortune conquered. There shall we consummate our spousal rites. Exeunt all but Titus. Titus. I am not bid to wait upon this bride. Titus, when wert thou wont to walk alone, dishonored thus, and challenged of wrongs? Re-enter Marcus, and Titus' sons, Lucius, Quintus, and Marcius Marcus. O Titus, see what thou hast done! In a bad quarrel slain a virtuous son. Titus. No, foolish tribune, no son of mine, nor thou, nor these, confederates in the deed that hath dishonored all our family, unworthy brother and unworthy sons. Lucius. But let us give him burial, as becomes, give Mutius burial with our brethren. Titus. Traitors, away! He rests not in this tomb. This monument 500 years hath stood, which I have sumptuously reedified. Here none but soldiers and Rome's servitors repose in fame, none basely slain in brawls. Bury him where you can, he comes not here. Marcus. My lord, this is impiety in you. My nephew Mutius' deeds do plead for him, he must be buried with his brethren. Quintus and Marcius. And shall, or him we will accompany. Titus. And shall. What villain was it spake that word? Quintus. He that would vouch it in any place but here. Titus. What, would you bury him in my despite? Marcus. No, noble Titus, but entreat of thee to pardon Mutius and to bury him. Titus. Marcus, even thou hast struck upon my crest, and with these boys mine honor thou hast wounded. My foes I do repute you every one, so trouble me no more, but get you gone. Marcius. He is not with himself, let us withdraw. Quintus. Not I, till Mutius' bones be buried. The brother and the sons kneel. Marcus. Brother, for in that name doth nature plead. Quintus. Father, and in that name doth nature speak. Titus. Speak thou no more, if all the rest will speed. Marcus. Renowned Titus, more than half my soul. Lucius. Dear father, soul and substance of us all. Marcus. Suffer thy brother Marcus to inter his noble nephew here in virtue's nest, that died in honor and Lavinia's cause. Thou art a Roman, be not barbarous. The Greeks upon advice did bury Ajax, that slew himself, and wise Laertes' son did graciously plead for his funerals. Let not young Mutius, then, that was thy joy, be barred his entrance here. Titus. Rise, Marcus, rise, the dismal stay is this that e'er I saw, to be dishonored by my sons in Rome. Well, bury him, and bury me the next. They'd put Mutius in the tomb, Lucius. There lie thy bones, sweet Mutius, with thy friends, till we with trophies do adorn thy tomb. All. Kneeling, no man shed tears for noble Mutius. He lives in fame that died in virtue's cause. Marcus. My lord, to step out of these dreary dumps, how comes it that the subtle queen of Goths is of a sudden thus advanced in Rome? Titus. I know not, Marcus, but I know it is whether by device or no, the heavens can tell. Is she not, then, beholding to the man that brought her for this high good turn so far? Marcus. Yes, and will nobly him remunerate. Flourish. Re-enter the emperor, Timora and her 2 sons, with the Moor, at one door, at the other door, Bassianus and Lavinia, with others S.A. Terninus. So, Bassianus, you have played your prize, God give you joy, sir, of your gallant bride. Bassianus. And you of yours, my lord? I say no more, nor wish no less, and so I take my leave. Saturninus. Traitor, if Rome have law or we have power, thou and thy faction shall repent this rape. Bassianus. Rape call you it, my lord, to seize my own, my true betrothed love, and now my wife? But let the laws of Rome determine all, meanwhile am I possessed of that is mine. Saturninus. 'Tis good, sir. You are very short with us, but if we live we'll be as sharp with you. Bassianus. My lord, what I have done, as best I may, answer I must, and shall do with my life. Only thus much I give your grace to know, by all the duties that I owe to Rome, this noble gentleman, Lord Titus here, is in opinion and in honor wronged, that, in the rescue of Lavinia, with his own hand did slay his youngest son, in zeal to you, and highly mov to wrath to be controlled in that he frankly gave. Receive him then to favor, Saturnine, that hath expressed himself in all his deeds a father, and a friend to thee in Rome. Titus. Prince Bassianus, leave to plead my deeds. 'Tis thou and those that have dishonored me. Rome and the righteous heavens be my judge how I have loved and honored Saturnine. Timora. My worthy lord, if ever Timora were gracious in those princely eyes of thine, then hear me speak indifferently for all. And at my suit, sweet, pardon what is past. Saturninus. What, madam? Be dishonored openly, and basely put it up without revenge. Timora. Not so, my lord. The gods of Rome forfend I should be author to dishonor you. But on mine honor dare I undertake for good Lord Titus innocence in all, whose fury not dissembled speaks his griefs. Then at my suit look graciously on him. Lose not so noble a friend on vain suppose, nor with sour looks afflict his gentle heart. Aside to Saturninus, my lord, be you by me, be one at last. Dissemble all your griefs and discontents. You are but newly planted in your throne, lest then, the people, and patricians too, upon a just survey take Titus' part, and so supplant you for ingratitude, which Rome reputes to be a heinous sin, yield that entreats. And then let me alone, I'll find a day to massacre them all, and raise their faction and their family, the cruel father and his traitorous sons, to whom I sued for my dear son's life. And make them know what 'tis to let a queen kneel in the streets and beg for grace in vain. Come, come, sweet emperor, come, Andronicus. Take up this good old man, and cheer the heart that dies in tempest of thy angry frown. Saturninus. Rise, Titus, rise, my empress hath prevailed. Titus. I thank your majesty and her, my lord. These words, these looks, infuse new life in me. Timora. Titus, I am incorporate in Rome, a Roman now adopted happily, and must advise the emperor for his good. This day all quarrels die, Andronicus, and let it be mine honor, good my lord, that I have reconciled your friends and you. For you, Prince Bassianus, I have passed my word and promised to the emperor that you will be more mild and tractable. And fear not, lords, and you, Lavinia. By my advice, all humbled on your knees, you shall ask pardon of his majesty. Lucius. We do, and vow to heaven and to his highness that what we did was mildly as we might, tendering our sister's honor and our own. Marcus. That on mine honor here do I protest. Saturninus. Away, and talk not, trouble us no more. Timora. Nay, nay, sweet emperor, we must all be friends. The tribune and his nephews kneel for grace. I will not be denied. Sweetheart, look back. Saturninus. Marcus, for thy sake, and thy brother's here, and at my lovely Timora's entreats, I do remit these young men's heinous faults. Stand up. Lavinia, though you left me like a churl, I found a friend, and sure as death I swore I would not part a bachelor from the priest. Come, if the emperor's court can feast 2 brides, you are my guests, Lavinia, and your friends. This day shall be a love day, Timora. Titus. Tomorrow, and it please your majesty to hunt the panther and the hart with me, With horn and hound will give your grace bonjour. Saturninus. Be it so, Titus, and gramercy too. Exeunt. Sound trumpets.